left my notes at school that I made for this video, but I'm just gonna wing it. So I wanted to talk about this week something that is basically a really big difference between schools in Japan and schools in the UK. So in Japan, the school year runs from April to March. And every new school year, there are a number of changes to the teaching staff. Also, I'll mention at some point in this video like about meeting new teachers and how I approach them and stuff, and like strike up conversations and things. So like if you're a potential jet or something and you're worried about meeting all your new teachers that don't speak English and all the ones that don't speak English and stuff, then this will be useful for you. Teachers in Japan are hired not by the individual school but by the Board of Education for that prefecture. So for example, I work in Hyogo Prefecture. I'm hired by the Board of Education, or the BOE of Hyogo, and so are all the teachers that work in my school. And at the end of every year, so in my case, it varies from school to school and year to year, but this year there was 10 to 15 changes to the staff, basically. And that means that teachers left to go and work at other schools, and teachers from other schools came to work here.
Why don't I know you? I'm new. I just moved here from
another school in the prefecture.
I honestly have no idea why. I've asked teachers, I've talked to other ALTs, and no one really knows or is willing to give an answer. I think it's maybe something that actual teachers just don't really talk about. But ALT wise, it's like no one's given me an answer that I believe. Like I heard a couple different ideas, like for example, it's to stop kind of in-school politics from forming and sort of cliquey groups of teachers and stuff, but I doubt that's the reason, and even if it was, I don't think that would stop it, because that's just human nature, I think.
Asian nerds, cool Asians, girls who eat their feelings.
There's positives and negatives to it, but the thing which like really stresses me out, even though as an ALT, me and you, if you're also an ALT or applying to be an ALT, you won't move school, or in very rare circumstances you will, and it's not like it wouldn't be for the same reason if you did. Only the Japanese teachers move, but like they don't find out until like a week before, first of all, if they're moving, and also where to, which they have no say in. And you know, if they're one end on Hyogo, they could be sent to school on the other end of Hyogo. Hyogo is massive. Like, they go and be miles away, and if they have a family, then either their whole family has to move, or more likely, they'll just kind of leave their family for a while. It's crazy. Like, imagine just being, like, waiting to find out if you have to move to a completely other city when you're so settled. Like, every year that must just be so intense, like, oh god, I hope it's not me, or whatever, or maybe you want to move, I don't know.
Bye, bitch.
But like, that just seems crazy to me, right? I'm not crazy, right? 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 Comment down below if you think it's crazy. Just say crazy. But there's like a lot of positives too. At first, because obviously we get a whole new bunch of teachers in, and at first I was like, I don't trust these new bitches. I don't know these people. But actually it's worked out. They're all like super nice. I had no problems with the teachers I was working with before, by the way. I loved them all. I'm not saying that either the new or old teachers are better or worse. I'm just really happy that, given that I have to get new teachers, that they are as good as they are. The new head of first year is awesome. She's so on the ball, very like straight to the point, so chatty, so friendly. Also, there's a new teacher that's like so young. She's younger than me. I'm not the youngest anymore, sad face. But it's her first time teaching in a full-time position, at least, if not ever. And I introduced myself to her, and she was so nervous, and like, she's literally like one of my students. She literally couldn't even look me in the eye.
Oh, it's awkward. It's awkward. It's awkward.
I was just kind of like, girl, we gonna work together. You gonna have to get used to this. But whatever. And then the two other first year teachers I work with, I know because they were already at the school. They're not new. And then I got a new third year teacher who is this older guy, and he is really nice. At first I was like, because I mentioned to him that I've never really used the textbook before, because I was kind of nervous about like, am I still going to be able to just do my own thing or what? And when I mentioned that, he like handed me the textbook straight away, and I was like, oh. But like, I spoke to him after that later, and he's actually so nice, and he was just like, oh no, yeah, let's just have fun, and like 50% my ideas, 50% your ideas, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh okay, right, this is gonna work, it's all good. Also, like, if you're on the JET program or you're coming on the JET program, I recommend, like, first of all, I'm really bad at making at like approaching people. If someone comes over to me and talks to me, I will be super friendly, really chatty, whatever, but like I'm very rarely, or I get really nervous going up to people that I'm not already friends with and just starting a conversation.
Could you guys help me?
So what I did was I bought a bunch of like shortbread, which are like Scottish biscuits, and I like gave them as like wee gifts to like all the new teachers in my oh, that's the other thing. Another change is like, as well as getting new teachers, all of the teachers change desks in the office, so you're surrounded by all new people. So anyway, I gave them all like a little piece of shortbread, and I was like, oh, this is for you, blah, blah, just to like start a conversation. So like I recommend that if you're like nervous about talking to people. Even if like you're just coming on your first year on Jet, that's a good way to like start talking to people if you're nervous. Again, I was nervous most of the time. I was just like, oh, here you go. Okay, thanks, enjoy. And then like run away. But it like starts a dialogue, you know what I mean? I'll feel like more comfortable next time I'm with them randomly in the kitchen or something. I'll actually maybe try and start a conversation. So yeah, new teachers, they're all good. And also it means like if you have a really shit teacher, because I have heard stories of ALTs that really don't like that some of the teachers they work with, and it just means that, you know, it's not permanent. So if you're staying more than 1 year, you're unlikely to be working with that teacher for more than a year. Something also that's crazy about all the teaching changes is like, it's not just the actual teachers, it's like all the staff, because they're all hired by the Board of Education. So like the office staff, the vice principal and principal, they change from time to time.
No one even told me we got a new principal this year, lol. I only found out when I walked into the opening ceremony 10 minutes late and he was giving a speech on stage, ha ha ha, fuck my life.
They basically run the school, so then you have new people coming in literally every like 3-4 years. I don't know exactly how often it is, but they come in and it's like, okay, I'm in charge now, but like they've never been to that school before. It just seems like insane. Like, I just don't understand why. Can someone please tell me? If you know the answer, please comment below. One thing I'm really sad about though is one of the office ladies left, and she's so friendly. She'd always wave at me as I left and stuff and smile, this huge big grin on her face. She actually, that's quite a funny story. She watches my videos, or she's seen some of them at least, because during the end of year party, she like comes over to me, and you know, the drinks are flowing at those parties. It's like Nomi Hodai, which is like all you can drink, and so I'm pretty lit at this point. Everyone's pretty lit. She comes over and she taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and it's just this Japanese lady with her glowing red face, because alcohol makes a lot of Asian people's face really red, and she like pointed and goes, YouTube! Like fully like just screams the word at me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, haha. Because I've not told any of the teachers that like I do this, and my supervisor's sitting next to me. He's like, oh, you are on YouTube? And I'm just like, oh, like, I mean, I guess. So that was so funny. And then I asked her, I was like, how the hell did you like find those videos? And she was like a full on internet stalker. Like she mentioned that she because she works in the office, she read my jet application, which was available to her there, and in that I had a link to my photography Instagram account, and in that I have a link. I always put a link to my latest video, and I was just like, girl, like, what? Anyway, I loved her. She was so lovely. She actually commented on one of my videos a few videos ago, and it was such a sweet comment, but I had to delete it because she specifically mentioned the school I work at, and I don't want to like make like really personal details about where I work and stuff so public. But I'll put like I took a screenshot, so I'll show you like some of it. But like, oh my god, I was just like, oh, you absolute gem. I'm gonna miss her, because I walked past the new office lady and I smiled, and she was just kind of like, I'm just like, oh, I see how it is. You're not the same. Anyway, to my ex-office lady worker who waved at me, I hope you're enjoying your new school or wherever you're at now, and I miss you. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe. I post the videos every Monday, so I will see you next week.